sanction being in this three world. However, the undesirable trend and the advancement of technology, you see all the technology that we have today, have caused human beings to be confused, and the moral deteriorate, and all the traditional good ethics are all disappearing, and people cannot settle their mind. They think they pursue all the illusion instead of pursuing the truth. So much so that their willpower to cultivate all are eroded away. So, and their acts is always contrary to humanity. And of course, with that, it brings more disaster to the humankind. And people, let me adjust my screen a little bit first. Okay. Okay, all right, good. Okay, right. And people's desire to excel over others, to cheat each other, has caused more and more calamity. And of course, this worries the righteous people tremendously. As we know, cow cultivation starts with compassion. And we also know that if it is out of sight, it's out of mind. If we don't see people suffering, we don't care. It's none of my business, they would say. So with this, let's take a look at some of the worst suffering in the world, ravaging all over the world now. Okay. In each year, there are about 3.5 million children aged below 5 years old die of malnutrition in just Africa region itself. And the fight against the hunger and the malnutrition and the famine is one of the biggest challenges remain in the world community. And in every 5 seconds, sisters and brothers, every 5 seconds, there is one person starved to death. And look at the North Korea itself. There are 6 million people are hungry. And the United Nations says that if the international aid is not in place in time, there will be 300,000 children in West Africa, just West Africa itself, will starve to death each year. And United Nations also warns that the number of people starving to death could be double amid the pandemic. And the prolonged drought and famine in East Africa has caused unbearable suffering. Look at them. They couldn't even get a scoop of drinking water. And there are millions of children living in hunger. And the war in the Middle East caused tremendous suffering from their injuries due to the war. And the disaster affected residents of South Asia remain in trouble because they get no help from anyone. And in disaster-affected countries, many families are torn apart, like this mother and daughter who are in grief after losing their loved one. And approximately 40 million people starve to death each year. Last but not least, COVID-19 pandemic. The coronavirus transmitted from animal to human since 2019 has since ravaging the whole world, 200 over countries. As of today, it killed more than 5.6 million people and infected more than 347 million people in the world. And sisters and brothers, as we know, compassion requires courage to persist. Just like what Patrick Muncher said, when the world is drowning, when the world is suffering, what do? We aid by the tongue. When the woman is drowning, we aid by helping hand. And there is a famous saying, a lamp lights up 1,000-year-long darkness. A wisdom perishes 10,000-year ignorance. Hence, the Almighty mandated two enlightening masters. They are Qigong Living Buddha, who incarnated as Patriarch Zhang, and Yue Bodhisattva, who incarnated as Matra Sun to propagate Tao and to salvage all benevolent sanctioned being in year 1930. However, not many Tao receivers are true Tao cultivators due to many reasons. Some of them being they do not fully understand the Tao, hence they cannot realize the true essence of Tao. And some they encounter difficulties in their Tao cultivation, and some unable to overcome obstacles in Tao cultivation, and they needed help badly. And some without good spiritual foundation, they retreated from Tao cultivation due to severe trials and frustration. Hence, the merciful Almighty God and the compassionate Buddha, saints, and sages have been stepping into this secular world. And what do? They channel through the holy mediums to give holy revelations in every Tao seminars, in spoken language form and in written form. And written form, it is also called holy sand writing. I'm sure some of you ever seen it before, holy sand writing. And all the holy revelation are in the form of songs, poems. What do? And the meaning, all the songs and the poem, the meaning is very, very profound. It's expounding us how to cultivate our mind, how to nurture our original nature, and how to promote virtue, and give us guidance on how to get along with people, how to deal with affairs, and how to be good children, good parents, good student, good teacher. And they teach us and admonish the sanctioned beings so that they will be enlightened and build up faith to cultivate and to practice truthfully and diligently to regain our original nature. And the talent group in Taiwan collected all this holy revelation and compiled it into a collection called Bright Wisdom. And hopefully those who are confused, ignorant, and needed help, after reading it, they will be awakened and enlightened after reading it. So we as a Tao cultivator in this White Sun era, we must be very grateful that we have the opportunity to receive Tao and to cultivate Tao in the comfort of our home and in the peaceful country. And we must cherish our precious Buddha affinity and the wonderful blessing, and to learn and cultivate sincerely so that we can induct more people and help more people to have the chance, to have the opportunity to receive Tao, to find their true self, and to find the way back to heaven. And time will not wait for no one. After learning it, we must put it into action and help others, those who have not received Tao yet, so as to fulfill our holy vow to salvage more sanctioned beings, to fulfill our holy vow, not to gain merit, it's just to fulfill our holy vow. So in this Bright Wisdom tree, we are going to learn about 3 main chapters, which includes learning about Tao and how to cultivate Tao, and also the 4 subjects of Tao cultivation. Don't worry, it's not within 1 lesson, it's over 2 lessons. So first of all, about Tao. What is Tao? Mensha said, when the world is drowning, aid by the Tao. What exactly does he mean, aid by the Tao? We are going to find it out right now. To begin with, just like what Gautama Buddha said, every sanctioned being has Buddha nature. Every sanctioned being will become Buddha. So Tao, what is Tao? Tao is our Buddha nature, is our self nature, is our original nature. So Tao is the principle. Tao is the road that leads us back to heaven. Tao is what we already have. It's not something that we gain from outside, not that someone actually passes to you. No, it is within us. Tao is our conscience, our nature, and the conscience of Buddha's mind, which is compassionate, heavenly mind, and the true mind. And hence, if we act in accordance to the Tao, our conscience act in accordance to our conscience at any time, that is Tao, that is putting Tao into action. So Tao is to indicate to us the right path to move forward. Hence, being equal and treat everyone, all sentient being equally is Tao. Be it rich or poor, beautiful or ugly, every human being is equal. It means that we shall consistently maintain our true self in accordance to the Tao, to this one, to the Almighty, so that we can really immerse ourselves in Tao and take pleasure of Tao. And hopefully, after learning today's Bright Wisdom Tree, and all of us will truly and wholeheartedly immerse ourselves in Tao. So Tao exists in the sky, the ultimate principle that rules the universe. So sisters and brothers, what if without Tao, what will happen? Star would not shine, and all the planets would go haywire, will go out of their orbit. So what will happen? The planet will crash into each other and cause immense disaster in the universe and the humankind. So we always ask, well, what is Tao? Where is the Tao? The answer is, your daily life is Tao. The relationship between human beings is Tao. And Tao is in your heart. Your heart is Tao, the right path, the right way. So Tao cultivation is one's benevolent heart, merciful heart. But most important of all, it is your original heart, which is a God-given ancient. That is Tao. So as you can see, Tao is the life force of everything on earth. All right. You look at all the animals. The fish live in the water. The dogs and cats run on the ground. It's not the reverse way. Just like the 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, it comes and goes. Which one comes first? Which one comes later? When do they come? When do they go? Nobody tells them what to do, but there is a force. There's a fixed pattern. Why? Because there is an invisible force that governs it, and that is the Tao. So the Tao is in the mountain. The Tao is in the water. Just like in the family, being a father, doing a father's duty, being a child, doing a child's duty, that is Tao. Simple as that. So in other words, when time to eat, we eat. When time to rest, we rest. That is Tao. And as you can see, Tao is everywhere in our daily life. So Tao cultivation is not only by means of going to the temple to do all the chores in the temple, like cleaning the toilet in the temple, washing the floor in the temple. No. In other words, Tao is in yourself, whether you are in the temple, whether you are at home, whether you are at the workplace, etc. Everywhere. It's not only when you are in the temple, then you have the Tao. And your every single word and action actually reflect one of the many facets of Tao. So Tao is so natural and so ordinary, yet is very divine. Therefore, it's everyone's privilege to cultivate Tao, whether he's rich, whether he's in honored position in society, or whether he's poor or very high-ranking official. Let me share with you. This incident happened in Singapore back in 2015. All right. Okay. Because I'm using 2 devices, so I need to control. It's a little bit tricky when I need to control the sound. So because this has sound, so I need to explain it a little bit before I play the video. All right. So there are two, back in 2015, there are two Indian workers doing road repair work at the roadside. And suddenly they heard loud sound, shouting and crying. And apparently there was a 2-year-old baby, 2-year-old toddler, fell from the balcony and his head stuck between the balcony railing. And there was no one at home. And everyone down below was very anxious and worried because the toddler's neck, what will happen? If no one rescue in time, it may break. However, no one dared to climb up the flat to rescue them. But these two Indian workers, with no hesitation, disregard of their own safety, they climb up and help the rescue the baby. So, sister and brothers, this is what we call the true manifestation of Tao, the merciful Buddha heart of these two Indian workers. Let's give them a big round of applause for being so merciful. So as you can see, Tao is our true nature. It's so natural. Being natural is Tao. So if the two Indian workers, they are being unnatural, means that they think twice before they go and save the baby. Eventually, the baby may not be able to be saved. So if we do not follow the Tao, we go against nature, what will happen? Problems will arise. Just like when during springtime, we're supposed to plant the seed and grow the plant in summer and we harvest in autumn, and then so that we can enjoy the food in autumn. If you say, oh no, I don't want to follow the norm, I want to go against the nature. So you plant the seed in autumn. You try to grow the plant in winter and try to harvest in spring and try to enjoy the food in summer. It doesn't work. The seed will not grow, the plant will die. So problem will arise. So human beings must follow the principle of nature. So just violating the Tao is to violate the heaven's principle. Therefore, we say that those who comply with heaven, what will happen? Will thrive. Those who go against heaven, what will happen? Will perish. And as you can see, now, so far, Tao is invisible. You can see everything, but you cannot see the Tao. There is no form, there is no shape. That's why it needs us to realize it via our conscience and put it into action, not by speaking only. Just like a cup has to remain empty so that it can take in more water. And ordinary things, everything carry the Tao. So long as we fulfill, we do all the things thoroughly at any time. And then you are actually doing the Tao at any time. Tao follow the nature. There is a Tao naturally when everyone is loyal to their work and does his basic duty well. So Tao cultivation needs to adapt oneself to different circumstances, different country, different background. There is no one fixed way to cultivate Tao. So if we stick to one way of cultivate Tao, be it in Singapore or India or Taiwan or Europe or America, it doesn't work because every country has different culture, different custom, different practice. That's why our Bodhisattva Pusiusi said, let local people do locals' work, to take care of the locals' affair. So just like what we just recite the 15 Buddha discipline before the class. Still remember? We just recited it. Follow every one of the 15 Buddha discipline is following the town. For example, respect saint and Buddha saint and sages. Do you need people to tell you to respect Buddha saint and sages? No, it comes naturally in us. Respect senior and guide the junior. Respect our parents, respect our grandparents. Do we need people to force us to respect, to love our parents? No, it comes naturally in us. I mean, we have children, we guide the junior, we teach our children. Be restrained, dignified, and righteous. Follow rules and convention. Every country has its rule. Every temple has its rule. Every home has its rule. So if we break the rules of the country, what will happen? Problem arise, right? We will be put into jail. We'll be imprisoned. And we accept responsibility. If you are a father, just accept the father's responsibility and do the father's duty. Being a mother, accept the responsibility and do the mother's duty. It's simple as that. And emphasize divine over mundane, and be humble, respectful, and courteous, and so on and so forth. So following any one of the 15 Buddha discipline is the manifestation of Tao. We do not need, it comes naturally in us. And it is so extraordinary that we, as a white sun era cultivator, we can cultivate Tao at home without renunciation, without pravajana. Just unlike the olden days, in the ancient time, Tao cultivator, like for example, Gautama Buddha, what did he do? He has to leave behind his children, his wife, abandon his family, leave behind his family, his wealth, and go far away, remote places in the mountain to seek for enlightening master and to cultivate. Now we are so lucky we can cultivate in the comfort of our home, right? And we can make breakthrough in sacrament holy work. But of course, first we have to take care of our secular world duty. We have to take care of our family, take care of our children, feed the children, and settle your family affair first. That's why now we are so fortunate that we can work hard in secular work and be diligent in our sacrament holy work. And we need to demonstrate Tao in our own conduct when cultivate Tao. And Tao can only be understood, but cannot be described because it's formless, right? It's invisible, right? So when we do Tao cultivation, we should do it unconditionally. Everyone has a compassionate heart. And when it originates from your true heart, that is Tao. That is Tao. And as a true Tao cultivator, we are able to shoulder responsibility, and we are able to uphold the truth, render help to everybody, all the people who are in need of your help, anytime, any place. So as the saying goes, when you embrace the truth, you can go everywhere. When you do not have truth, you can't even move a single step. So as a Tao cultivator, we Tao treat every sentient being equally, and the Tao cannot be bought by money. Doesn't mean that you are high status in society, you are very wealthy, you will receive Tao. Those who are poor and in a different level in the society, they cannot receive Tao. No, everyone is equal. Everyone has the opportunity to receive Tao. And we must cultivate it very well. We must have cultivated very well in our past lives, we have a very good character and behavior in these lives. And with the virtue of your ancestor, that we have the opportunity to receive Tao in this life. Do you know that? Have you heard about that? Just like what the Saint Zheng Chenggong told us in one of the Holy Revelation. The saint say, to be able to receive Tao in this life is due to your past 3 lives of cultivation. And to be able to attend Holy Sermon in this life is due to past 5 lives of cultivation. So sisters and brothers, have all of you received Tao? I'm sure you have. Have all of you attended Holy Sermon? Have you? Right? All of you have received Tao?
Yes, sister.
Very good. Yeah. And
It
attended
means
Holy Sermon, right? Very good. So congratulations to all of you, because you have at least 5 lives of past cultivation to back you up. If you live in temple or you set up temple at home, it's due to past 7 lives of cultivation. And if you take vegetarian vow in this life, it's due to past 10 lives of cultivation. Sisters and brothers, may I have a show of hands? Has any one of you taken vegetarian vow yet? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone taken vegetarian vow yet?
Sister, I took Ganapati.
Oh, okay, very good. Brother Ganapati, very good. Well, congratulations. You have at least past 10 life of cultivation. So, sisters and brothers, if we have at least past 5 or 10 lives of cultivation, if we don't continue cultivate in this life, what will happen? You are not worthy of yourself. Therefore, don't say that you don't have time to cultivate. And don't say that Tao cultivation is tough, because whatever excuses we have, it will not excuse us from the calamity and all the impermanence in life. And some may ask, how do we know that the heavenly decree is true or false? Well, if the heavenly decree is not true, how can the Tao prevail in all over the world now, in 100 over countries, and millions of people are cultivating Tao right now, and Tao still exists after they had been through all kinds of trials and challenges and tests. So don't you think that Tao is true? And not only that, Tao not only brings eternal life to sentient beings, but also to the spirits in the middle heaven and the ghosts in the underworld. I'm sure you have heard the real life example of some of your senior who actually salvaged the soul of their ancestor or their parents or their grandparents who did not receive Tao during their lifetime. So that's because this is the final salvation of the 3 worlds, the middle heaven, the secular world, and the underworld. Well, I'm sure you heard enough time of final salvation, last salvation, but sisters and brothers, do you know exactly what last salvation, final salvation means? Okay, I think you may know some of it, but never mind. Let's take a look at this concept of cosmos, and then you will not forget. This concept of cosmos consists of, let me get the laser pointer, consists of 12 phases, start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way until phase 7. And each phase consists of 10,800 years. So 12 times 10,800 years is equivalent to 129,600 years. Well, is this number we pluck from the air? No. But this concept of cosmos, it is already known and developed about 5 to 10,000 years ago by the I Ching prediction calculation method. But you know what? Only about a couple of 10 years ago, scientists discovered that the time between the last glacier period and the next glacier period is 130,000 years. 130,000 years. About 130,000 years. Look at the numbers that we have here. It's exactly 129,600 years. It's 400 years different, but this is the exact number. The scientists' calculation is based on an estimate. So, sister and brothers, how precious is it to receive time to know about this concept of cosmos? And this concept of cosmos started from the period 1, where the sky is formed. And then period 2, earth is formed. And period 3, the man formed. And all the way to the period 7, it's like the sun rise all the way and peak. At the period 7, the technology peak. It's just like the sun peak at the noon time. So after the noon time, it peak at the noon time. What will happen after that? The sun will start setting, right? Setting to the west, right? So that's why we start setting to the period 8. So in this period, things are deteriorating. Humans are suffering. So Almighty God is so merciful that they actually sent down 3 Buddhas to salvage sentient being. And first being during the Green Sun era, the Dipankara Buddha was descended. Second being the Red Sun era, the Gautama Buddha was descended. The third being now the White Sun era, the Buddha Maitreya descended to do the final salvation. So after final salvation, what will happen? Man extinct, earth extinct, sky extinct, and we enter the last phase, which is chaos phase, and which is coincide with what the scientists predict, the glacier period. So our holy teacher said, holy teacher already gave us a big Dharma boat, the white young Dharma boat. And this Dharma boat, it is in ourselves. We need to carry many, many more followers to sail ahead through the wind and the waves. Every one of us has this temple, the Dharma boat, which need us to take care of it well every day. And this temple is a golden boat in which we need to make bows every day. And we need to navigate this golden boat and so as to save more sentient beings, to come to this white young Dharma boat. So with this, we move on to the next chapter of today, which is Tao and heart cultivation. So what is Tao cultivation? Well, Tao cultivation means to cultivate our body and nature, to cultivate one's mind, to attain tranquil heart, to get rid of human's heart, which is selfish heart, unjust and biased, prejudiced heart. And we need to restore the righteous heavenly heart, which is close to the golden mean, and the unbiased heart. Well, and then we need to get rid of all the delusion and clear the 3 minds and 4 faces to attain tranquil heart. Well, what is 3 minds and 4 faces? Why do we need to clear the 3 minds and 4 faces? The 3 minds are the past mind and the future mind and the current mind. Well, the reason why sentient beings are suffering is that they are too attached to the longing of the past, have too much anxiety in today's world, and they also worry too much of the future. So, sisters and brothers, past mind, where is past mind? Past mind has already passed, it no longer exists. And the present mind, what does it mean by present mind? What is in front of you will be instantaneous. What does it mean? The moment I say the word instantaneous, it becomes a past, no longer exists. All right? And the future mind, the future has not come. It's unknown to us. So all these 3 minds not what we are able to grab. We can't grab it. We can't own it. Just like we have tons of wealth. When we leave this world, can we grab hold or give me one gold bar and I live with me to live this secular world? No, we can't even grab hold of a single cent when we leave this world. So why not? Why not just focus on doing good deed today instead of worrying too much of what will happen in our secular life and all the impermanence in life. And to do that, to do Tao cultivation, what do? We see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, and do no evil. That's why in our Tao community, when you receive Tao, we emphasize, we advocate that we need to have kind heart, have kind words, and do kind deeds. Remember when you receive Tao? Yeah. So Tao cultivation begins from within ourselves. It's not started from someone. Oh, you have to be kind first. You have to cultivate first. No, everyone have to start from ourselves. We identify our faults. We identify our bad habits and we correct them and do repentance. But make sure that we do not repeat the same mistake again. If you keep repeating it, it is not a repentance. It's not a true repentance. So after learning what Tao cultivation is, we need to put it into practice. But what is Tao practicing? Well, Tao practicing, there are 7 necessary elements in Tao practicing. There are to build up merits and virtues, and to salvage and benefit the world and save more people, to sacrifice oneself and be the beacon to others, and guide sentient beings to be enlightened by the truth, bring them to receive Tao, find their true self, find a way back to heaven, and be a good role model yourself, and always be righteous oneself, and help others to do the same. That is Tao practicing. And Tao practicing, it is all in one's heart. So kind heart will always see kindness in others. Unpleasant heart will see unpleasant aspect of others. Just like when you see someone and you feel that he's disgusting, actually what happened? Is he disgusting? No, it's our heart that is disgusting. And when you feel that he's cute and you like him, it is your heart that is cute. And when you see something that is pleasing to your eyes, it's because your heart is pleasing, and vice versa. When you see something that is not pleasing to your eyes, it is your heart that is not pleasing. So let me share with you this story and you will understand it through and through. Well, this story happened in about 1,000 years ago in Song Dynasty. There was a very famous scholar. His name is called Su Dongbo. Well, he likes to go to Jingshan Temple, just like we all go to the temple to meditate with the abbot Zen Master Fo Yin. Well, this Su Dongbo sometimes is a bit arrogant. So he felt that he has already attained a very high level of cultivation. So he asked the Zen Master, "Hello, Master, what do you think of my sitting posture?" The Zen Master replied, "Oh, your sitting posture is so solemn, look like Buddha." Oh, so this scholar Su Dongbo was very delighted to hear the compliment. And Zen Master Fo Yin then asked Su Dongbo, "Okay, scholar, what do you think of my sitting posture?" Su Dongbo never let go of any chance to tease and to mock the Zen Master Fo Yin. So immediately he replied, "Oh, your sitting posture? You look like a pile of animal poo. You look like a pile of animal poo." Surprising, the Zen master Fo Ying was also very happy to hear this. The Zen master was called Animal Pooh, but yet he did not bother to retaliate. He did not bother to answer back. And so this scholar Sudongpo, he self-proclaimed that he had beat the Zen master Fo Ying. So he started telling everyone wherever he goes that, I won today, I won today. So when the news reached his little sister named Su Xiaomei, and his little sister asked him, Big brother, I wonder, how did you win the Zen master? Su Dongbo beamed with joy and recounted the whole incident, how he won over the Zen master to his little sister. And his little sister is a very talented intellectual. After listening to Su Dongbo's proud narrative, she said with a very serious face, she said, my dear big brother, you lost. Zen master's heart cultivated like a Buddha. That's why when he see you, you look like a Buddha. And your heart is like animal poo. That's why when you see the Zen master look like a pile of animal poo. So sister and brothers, right? Do you understand the story? Yeah. So Su Dongbo was also totally dumb because he thought that he already cultivated until very high level. Only now he realized that his cultivation level was not as good as that of the Zen master. So sisters and brothers, heart cultivation is not about how much knowledge you have. It is about the comprehension, the enlightenment. So heart cultivation is not about how clever you can do debating, how sharp is your word is. No, it is all about the spiritual wisdom. So do not think that Zen masters are very sharp and clever in their debate, in their words. Sometimes they just need to stay silent, and yet they can emit a very, very deafening Dharma sound. Just like if you see our Pususi Bodhisattva or our senior Reverend Elder Bai Sui, great sage Bai Sui, they actually emit a very deafening Dharma sound without talking. So heaven and hell actually lies in our thought, just like what you see in the story just now, right? So therefore, we must examine and realize our thought constantly. We must weigh the gains, the losses, and the result of something before we do it. Furthermore, we must always examine our own thought at every instant, every moment, because a good thought, it will lead to heaven, and a bad thought will result in hell. That's why hell and heaven is just in our thought. That's why we say that we must examine and realize our thought constantly. And Tao practicing is to keep watching our thought well. And we have to retrieve our heart in order to cultivate and to tranquilize our heart to meet the heaven's will. Then ask yourself, is your heart retrieved yet? Do you handle your heart well? Just ask a simple question. Is your heart here? Is your heart here, sisters and brothers? Is your heart here, listening to this bright wisdom tree?
Yes. Yes, brother. Yes, sister.
Yes, sister.
Good. Well, I hope not at somewhere else, far away in your workplace or in your unfinished house chore, unfinished work in the office. I hope it's not that. So we must always retrieve our heart, all right? Because our contemplation and our everything that we do and our thinking is always moved by the things surrounding us. We are always affected by the incident, the things happening around us. So we must always retrieve our heart, all right? Bring our heart back to the true heart, okay? So, and we need to get rid of the worldly thought and the temperament. When we say cultivation is to cultivate our heart. Well, if we fail to cultivate our heart, well, what will happen? Then people will say, well, cultivate or not cultivate makes no difference. Last time you have bad temper, you still have bad temper now. And you have a lot of hatred last time, now you have more hatred. And last time you keep chasing the wealth and the status, now you are still, after cultivating for so long, you still have all these undesirable habits. So if you're still attached with all the undesirable habits, and how can you be a true cultivator? Am I right? Yeah, so we have to cultivate, means we have to get rid of all these undesirable habits. And to practice Tao, we need to take enlightenment as our master and wisdom as our friend. We need to practice sincerely on the path of Tao cultivation. And we can reach real achievement by often reminding ourselves that not to be lost, not to be confused, and not to be seduced by all the external temptation like the wealth, the status, and so on and so forth. So after some time of the Tao cultivation, your magnetic field will match well with that of the heaven. It is called the communion with heart. All right. Therefore, we should always keep our righteous thought so that our magnetic field can match and communicate with Buddhas. And the so-called magnetic field, what exactly the magnetic field means? It is our thought, our attitude, and our rationale. So to practice Tao, we must learn how to let go, and the attached and illusionary heart, to let go the attached heart in order to become Buddha. So no matter how long you have received Tao, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the most important thing is in cultivation is we must learn how to let go. Just like Buddha said in sages, they learn how to let go. That's why they become Buddha. And human being, if we do not learn how to let go of all this attachment in secular world, we always remain as ordinary human being. So when our heart can let go, our mind can settle down. And the realization of Tao is based on the stage of our heart. Well, of course, we have to always retrieve, come back to our true heart. If you learn to put down everything and get rid of all the worries in the secular world, and you immerse yourself in the vast universe, what will happen? All right, your heart is that spacious, as spacious as the whole universe, and your happiness is as great as the whole universe. How immense is that? That's why since ancient time, all Buddha, saints, and sages learn to put down, to let go everything, and thus they can attain the spiritual happiness and tranquility with the whole universe. And when the inner strength is deep enough and solid, our heart of Tao cultivation will be everlasting. Well, Tao cultivation is never about cultivate our appearance only. It is about the inner effort. It need to be deeper and more solid. So when our inner strength is deep and solid, our heart of Tao cultivation will be everlasting. So if our foundation is not solid, it is like a tree's root, which is not deep enough. So sisters and brothers, if the roots is not deep enough, what will happen when the wind blows? It falls, right? It falls when the strong wind blows. So So therefore, we need to cultivate and learn Tao, and we need to put it into practice and reinforce our internal base. And this is called Tao practicing. And sister brothers, you're here to learn and to listen and learn the Dharma, right? And benefited a lot from it, right? This is, I think, this is the last 2 lessons. So I'm sure you have learned about like 28 lessons since day 1. But ask yourself, have you put it into action? Have you put it into practice? If you don't, it will go in vain, even though you have learned a lot. Just like when you are very, very hungry, you put the food in your hand, you hold the food in your hand, you don't swallow it, you are still remain hungry, right? And even some say, oh, I put into my mouth already, I'm very hungry, I put the food in the mouth, but I don't swallow it. You will still remain very hungry. So likewise, if our temper, our bad habits still fail to be rectified, and our mental obstacles and has not been, or the dust has not been cleansed yet, you still cannot become a true Tao cultivator if you don't put it into practice. And we need to guide our own heart to an invariable realm that does not go up and down like a yo-yo. You know what is yo-yo? Go up and down. We need to attain the tranquil heart. And this is the place, our true self, this is the place for your heart to stay. And this is called going forward to paradise. So when your mind is very clean and solemn, and that is the temple. Temple is not just the physical temple that you go to go to for prayer. Temple is in our heart, the tranquil heart, the Buddha heart. So, sisters and brothers, true self, mind, and physical body, these 3, which one actually would you prefer to have joy? The true self, the mind, and the physical body. Which one would you like to have joy? I think the answer is very clear, right? Only having spiritual joy can make you full of joy of truth. And can you then show the joy in your behavior? Therefore, every one of our behavior and things that we do in daily life require us to observe this true nature, because we can only demonstrate the nature upon realizing the nature. If you don't even know what true nature is, how can you demonstrate, how can you manifest the true nature, right? So cultivating Tao need to introspect oneself often, to search for one's true self. It is a saint way to observe oneself, while an ordinary person observe others, always pick on others, always find fault on others, right? Always finger pointing, right? This is human, right? So ask yourself, have your heart been settled down yet? If your heart been settled down, you can then often find fault and examine yourself and to find your own mistake and correct it. So once you did that, isn't it what we call there is friend from the remote? Any one of you study the analects here? Analects? Any one of you heard of analects? If you studied, I'm sure some of you studied the analects. Analects is a teaching of the Confucius. It's a collection of
Confucius teaching.
Yeah. You studied.
Confucius teaching.
Yes, very, very good. So you will learn this. There is the friend from remote. What does it mean exactly? So this is what it means. Okay, if you can steal a moment of leisure time under the pressure of your heavy workload, okay, and you contemplate your own faults, your own mistake, your own error, your own shortcoming. Once the lost heart return, you found your true heart. All right, then it comes back from the remote. Your heart that wandering outside is come back to your true heart. And these friends coming means your true master is returning. That's why when you found your true master, when you found your true heart, you'll be very happy. And this is all spiritual happiness. And receiving Tao is to make your heavenly heart tranquil, satisfactory, and attain perfection. And our true heart is the master. So ask yourself, is your Buddha heart, is your true master living in your heart right now? Is your true master at home? Your true heart is there. So long as you listen, so long as you listen and digest the teaching sincerely and attentively with your heart. It is a pity that sometimes your true master is usually not at home, while the guest occupying higher position in your heart space. So who are your guests? Your guests are the 7 emotions and the 6 sensory pleasure. The 7 emotions are your joy, your hatred, your anger, your sorrow, your fear, love, evil, and desire. And the 6 sensory pleasure are the pleasure that is for your eyes, for your ears, for your nose, and tongue, and body, and mind. So all these are the guests. So these guests, when your desires are stronger than the principle, than your true heart, it means that all these guests are actually occupying higher position in your heart, and your true heart, which is the master, is in a lower position. So we must make sure that the master is always, the true heart is always in a higher position, and the guest is always in a lower position. Better still, don't let the guest come into your heart. The guest is not the ordinary guest. The guest is all your the 7 emotions. Yeah. So, sister and brothers, in order to reinforce the foundation of our true master, what we can do? We can always do true self meditation. Do you know how to do true self meditation? Do you know? I'm sure some of you know, but whether you know or not, let's do it together now.
Meditation.
Let's do it together now. All right. So to do the true self meditation, first we must sit up straight. And we must straighten our waist, relax our whole body. Let's do it together, everybody. And we hold our holy hand sign on your chest. Our eyes 80% closed, 20% open, just like the Buddha picture here. And put our tongue up against the palate and focus your concentration on the heavenly portal. And then we recite the 5-word mantras. We recite the 5-word mantras. So as you breathe in, you visualize that these 5-word mantras going in through the heavenly portal one by one. Let's do it together. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out. Well, due to time constraint, we cannot practice too many times, but this true self meditation, you can do it every day at home, at work, doing your house chore, cooking, exercising, doing your work in the office. You can practice it all the time, 24/7, because true self meditation will help us strengthen our faith and in communion with the heavenly maker, Buddha, saints, and sages. I think times is up for today, right? I think it's 15 minutes is up. So the second half of this Bright Wisdom Tree, we will continue in next week, same time, same channel, the very last lesson. So with this, I end my humble sharing today. And if I make any mistake or say anything inappropriate, I seek forgiveness from the Heavenly Maker, Buddha, Saints, and Sages, and Tao Initiator, Mercifulness, and fellow lecturers and senior. Please supplement whatever shortcoming in my sharing today. And thank you all.
Number 1. Number 2, thank you, Speaker
Thank
Yap.
you, Speaker Yap.
Thank you.
Number 3, please take a seat.
Thank you.
Yeah, once again, thank you, our Speaker Yap, for delivering such a meaningful topic. I think through today we see or we have learned, I believe every one of us, we have learned a lot. So thanks to our Speaker Yap effort that
Thank you.
inside the topic, she also in a lot of doing a lot of research and also using a lot of example that help us to understand better for all in this topic. So once again, we thanks our Speaker Yap. We give our Speaker Yap a round of applause.
Thank you so
Speaker Yap.
much. God bless.
Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, so right now we will.
Yeah, already setting.
Yeah, we will go to the discussion. Okay, then Speaker Yap, are you okay to join us in the discussion?
I supposed to stay here, is it?
We have now the lessons end, but we have a short discussion. So to
Do
everyone,
I need to stay here?
up to you.
Okay.
So
So
yeah, would you like to
okay.
join us?
Yeah, I think I would like to know more of your, get to know more of you, know better.
Oh,
all
that
of
would
you.
be great. Okay, thank you, Speaker
you.
Yap.
True heart is our Tao, and our true nature and our Buddha nature is Tao. Since Tao could not be explained, because Tao is no formless, boundless, but it is being everywhere and ubiquitous. So Tao could not be explained. So we feel the Tao and experiencing Tao and practicing Tao in our daily life. So second, connected between Tao and heart cultivation. So we are just learning, not only learning in Tao. So we are practicing in our daily life and day-to-day affairs and connected with our day-to life and see everywhere in Tao. So speaker explained about the true heart. For example, one baby climbing in Singapore and two workers saved their life. And also our thoughts and words are the more important. Like Zen theory speaker explained, our thoughts are more important. So நம்ம என்ன பார்க்குறோம் அப்படின்னா அது அந்த பொறுத்து தான் நமக்கு வந்து அமையும். ஸோ அவர் தாட்ஸ் ஆர் மோர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அண்ட் ஹவு வி ப்ராக்டிஸ் இன் அவர் டெய்லி லைஃப் இன் தாவ். ஸோ ஸ்பீக்கர் வெல் எக்ஸ்பிளைன்டு about more about in Tao. Lastly, explained about simple meditation, how meditation. So, well understood, brother, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Kanapati. Yeah, so Brother Kanapati has been very concentrated because the whole topic summary. He just give a summary of just now the whole topic itself. Yeah, it's a lot of things shared inside. This is a lot of information today, but she managed to squeeze all in this one topic. Like our Brother Kanapati say in front, we talk about what is Tao. It is very difficult to fully understand because what we speak is only part of Tao. So it is very difficult, only that you can feel it, but you cannot visualize it. So later they talk about the Tao heart cultivation. Heart is also something that we cannot see. It is only the thought we cannot see. What we think we cannot see. So it's something that we cannot catch on. But we can, through practicing it from our controlling ourselves, to minimize, reduce off a bad habit, reduce the desire. Through this, we cultivate to recover the pureness of our heart. So mentioned about the true self master to take control, or the guest to take control of your thoughts, of your heart. So this is about cultivation. So today we learned a lot. She's not only sharing the theory itself. Speaker Yap also share with us how to do it, why we want to do it, because we want to remove off, and how to remove off. The last part actually is the most important. She teach us on how to do the true self meditation. This true self meditation is for white young cultivators very useful, especially when we have evil thoughts or some things that is very trouble in our mind. When we do this true self meditation, it will help us to calm our mind and let our to tune our true self, our true self, Buddha nature will be in the peaceful, and the true Buddha nature your wisdom will come out to help you to clear off all the desires, all the bad thoughts, evil thoughts. Okay, so next, yeah, Kavita Rani.
Yeah, yes, brother. Good evening, brother.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, sister. Please.
Today's topic is very useful for our daily life, because in our daily life we are facing lots of problems, strugglings like that. On that time we can't maintain our temper. That is very difficult to maintain Buddha nature and all. But a sister told that idea how to maintain our temper and how to maintain our Buddha nature. The way of teaching is very nice, and it's very easy to follow also. So I feel very lucky today to learn this lesson. Actually, past 2 or 3 weeks I can't attend due to some personal works. After a long time I attend today, but I learned lots of information for my daily life. So it's very useful for me. I feel blessed. Thank you, brother. Thank you, all our brothers.
Thank you, Sister Kavita Rani. Yeah, welcome back to our class after a long holiday, so-called holiday. So it is okay because we are still in this modern world, this earthly world. So we do have some family issue, personal issues, because white young cultivators, we are cultivate in the society, not out of the society. You see, in the past, when the monk, they just leave the society, they just stay inside the temple, no need to think of earning a living or what. So they just need to do is the cultivation as their homework every day. But now, white young cultivator, we differently not only cultivate our heart, our mind, we also need to earn a living. We also need to maintain the family. In white young cultivators, not only self-cultivations, also family cultivations and society cultivations. That is the difference between now and the past. So it is understandable everyone will face a problem. So even myself or seniors cultivators, we will also face. But once the problem solved, we come back and join back to the group. So this is what white young cultivators should do. But never give up yourself. Whatever difficulty you face, solve the problem and you come back to the cultivations. That is white young cultivators, what we all do. Okay, thank you, sister, for sharing. Next, Brother Wang Yifeng. Brother, yeah,
yes.
very long time never hear from you. How are you?
Okay. So far so good. A bit busy.
So how you feel today?
It's quite an interesting topic, and from what I understand, it is something that attached to our life, which you can't separate it from the past, current, and also future, whereby we have to accept it in a very open mind, in the nature of heart that we have to know it's a very flexible rules whereby it does not limit. Given a different situation, we have a different way of solving it. And I will say that how should I reword it? It's no matter what situation, there is always we have to accept it in an open heart, in an open mind, and do not discriminate people regardless of color, location, geographical, and always give people a chance to listen to what people say.
Mm.
And finally, the speaker actually made a very good conclusion that by teaching the Tao cultivators how to do a self-reflection by doing a meditation. Personally, I'm actually practicing it, but not the Tao version, but it's another one. So I'm not going to share it within this class. And personally, from my experience, it's something very good that we do the self-reflection and meditation, because by doing so, it's not only we are bringing the knowledge, and at the same time, we also bringing a better help to ourselves. Okay. Thank you very much, and I'm returning it to you, sir.
Thank you, our brother Wang. So good sharing. That I think time's up already. Never mind. Let's go back to
Okay,
the
thank
main
you,
room.
brother.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, brother.
Everyone's back. Everyone's back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How's everyone? The discussion okay?
Yeah, okay, brother. Everything very simple and easily understandable one.
Yeah, for my side, we got managed for 3 person to do the sharing. Yeah, then and I think they really very concentrate today topic. Can even give a summary of what just now whole thing what Speaker Yat said. So I think fantastic. Today this topic is really very good. A lot of people are actually very concentrating. They can manage to say all the details what Speaker Yat just now said. So wow, very nice very nice sharing and very good concentration of all our class participants. So we keep up this concentration for our future class, which is the Sinter class this year. The next class. Okay, so we have come to the end of today topic sharing. Anyone got any all the speaker in charge anything to inform? 我们没有啊，佩环有东西要讲吗？
没有 OK。
Yeah, okay. So if there's nothing, so our next class will be next week, 30th of January, and the part 2 of this bright wisdom. So today this topic very nice, right? So we don't miss out the part 2, the continue the story, okay, to be continued. Okay,
more story, more interesting story.
Yeah, more interesting story. We're looking forward for next week. Okay, so today we will come to the end of today's topic. So thank you everyone. See everyone next class. Now before we end, number 1, thank you to all Buddha saints and sages. 3 bow, 1 bow, 2 bow, 3 bow. Great sage Pai Shui, 1 bow. Bodhisattva Pushushi, 1 bow. Okay, number 3, please take a seat. Okay, thank you, Guruji. Mercifulness. Once again, thank you, Speaker Yap.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker Wilson. Thank you, Speaker Vera. Thank you, Speaker Tan.
Bye. See you all next week.
Yeah.
Good night.
Right.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah.